Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel EcoByte Insights where we make economics simple and fun. I'm Omi Akhtar Jui. Today I'm talking on an important topic which is how knowledge creates impact and how research shapes the world. Do you know that every year researchers around the world make discoveries and solutions? But a huge percentage of this research remains locked into the institutions or in the journal, unused and unread. Can you imagine about how much potential is lost if research isn't shared properly and effectively? That's why today I'm making an informative video on how dissemination, interdisciplinary collaboration and public engagement can solve the problem, transform research into the real-world solutions. So please stick with me because there are many more things to uncover. Now let's start with knowing about the end users of research finding. We have academics, NGOs, media, businesses, general public, industries, institutions, and policymakers. Now let's see how and why they use it. Academics use it for advanced knowledge and inspire new studies. Policymakers also use it to develop evidence-based policy and improve their governance. Professionals use research to improve practices in their respective fields. General public also use it to make informed decisions based on the credible research. And now NGOs, businesses and industries, they use research for advocacy, innovation and market adoption. Now let's jump to the most vital part of research, which is research dissemination. So research dissemination is the planned process of communicating research findings to target audience through appropriate channels to maximize understanding, uptake and impact. Now look at the picture. Can you create an example of research dissemination from this picture? Well, let me do it for you. Think about university students. They are sharing their research finding with the students and teachers of colleges and schools to improve their classroom strategy. So, this is how dissemination can work. For your better understanding, I have also added a short video on how you can disseminate your research effectively in the description box below. So, to enhance your learning, you can check that out. Now let's see social responsibility of researchers. Do you know that for a research to be impactful and effective, it's obligatory that it shouldn't cause any harm to the society and contributes to the positive changes? Well, for this, researchers have to share their research transparently through journals and open platforms. They have to engage with publics through blogs, podcasts, and talks. They need to address misinformation, providing evidence-based responses. And they have to make research accessible using simple language and visuals. Also, they have to encourage learning, developing educational resources. They have to foster open dialogue through creating channels for feedback, and they need to work on that feedback and criticism. Last but not the least, they have to engage with public inquiries about research. Now look at the picture. What do you think? This cartoon may look playful, but it tells a very strict truth, which is institutions are the heart of making research meaningful. Because research is a disseminational process and it's a shared responsibility between university, institutions and researchers. So now let's see the roles of institutions in dissemination. Well, they have to make sure that the truth is told responsibly. They need to ensure that voices that were ignored get a seat at the table, because we know that good research should reflect all the people, not just the powerful one. They need to turn academic language into the everyday language so that general public and non-expert can understand it and act on it. Now, last but the most important one, they need to break the walls of ivory towers and let the world in, because locked knowledge helps no one. But for playing the roles effectively, they need to follow some criteria. They have to provide researchers access to the platforms in conferences, journals, and digital archives. They have to promote ethical standards and interdisciplinary collaboration also. They need to ensure legal and reputational protection for researchers. and they have to give safe environment by protecting researchers from censorship or an external pressure. They also have to support public engagement, and they can offer different training programs in the community or institutional level. Now let's see why accountability and factual accuracy matter. Do you know that for a research to be trustworthy and impactful, it needs to be accurate, transparent, and ethical? And for this, researchers must uphold high standards to avoid misinformation and biases. And that's why accountability and factual accuracy matter. Now let's see how researchers can maintain accountability. For this, they have to disclose funding sources, ensuring that financial backers don't influence the results. They need to provide reliable references and avoid an exaggeration. They have to provide peer-reviewed evidence also. And they need to clarify their study boundaries, like what their research covers and what doesn't. And last but not the least, they have to update insights promptly as new data emerges and they have to maintain ethical guidelines strictly. Now in this slide, I have included an example image of a peer-reviewed scholarly article. This will help illustrating what to look for when identifying a credible peer-reviewed sources. Well, I have also added a short video in the description box about peer reviewing process. So check that out if you want to learn more about that. Now let's see how researchers can maintain factual accuracy. Well, for maintaining factual accuracy, they have to show the full picture, avoiding selective data presentation. They need to ensure consistency, and they have to use strong evidence that would support their claims. And they need to prevent misunderstanding by clarifying key findings and providing context if it's necessary. And they have to use trusted channels only. Now in this image, I have added logos of some trusted and reputed platforms, channels, and journals for research. To make it more easier for you, I have also added direct links to the websites and channels in the description box. So check that out if you want to enhance your learning. Now let's see another important and trending topic, which is interdisciplinary collaboration. So it involves individuals from diverse fields working together to solve complex problems and generating new insights. I'm sure you all remember COVID-19, right? So think about that time. During COVID-19, scientists, economists, and policymakers collaborated as a team, and they developed vaccines, access to lockdown's impacts, and guide national responses, which highlights how interdisciplinary teamwork saved lives and managed the crisis. So that's how interdisciplinary collaboration can create impacts. So for your better understanding, I have also added a short video on what is interdisciplinary research in the description box below. So please check that out. Now let's see why interdisciplinary collaboration matters. Well, it matters because it makes the research most impactful and relevant to the real-world issues. It promotes ethical and inclusive problem solving through diverse inputs. It fuels innovation and connects research with the policymakers, industry, and communities. It leads to practical and long-lasting solutions, improving understanding and filling the knowledge gap. It also helps building trust through visible expert collaboration. Now let's see the core topic, the core part of dissemination, which is public engagement. Public engagement is not just about sharing research. It's about involving the public throughout the research journey, from planning and data collection to sharing and applying results. Public voices can shape better outcomes. I have also added a graph which shows how public engagement works as a cycle. It starts with engaging people and creative partners who contribute to research. Then their input helps generating inclusive research and co-created outputs. Then through amplifications via different media, the knowledge spreads, brings more people into the loop. And this output fits into the real-world policy and create practice. So that's how engagement can create outcomes. So what are you thinking now? I know what are you thinking. How researchers can actually engage the people, right? Well, there are many effective ways for doing that. For this, researchers must share their findings via public debate on TV, academic forums, and government forums. They can also do workshops, presentations, and seminars to bring research to schools, colleges, universities, and business forums. They can also engage mass media through TV, radios, and newspapers to broaden their reach. They can also use digital media tools like YouTube, podcasts, and infographics for simplifying their complex ideas. They can also do social media campaign on Facebook, Twitter, Threads, and Instagram to spread their knowledge faster. And they can also participate in interactive exhibits to make it more engaging. Now take a moment and look at this picture. What do you see? Imagine a scientist is passionately explaining his research to his cat and the cat is completely clueless. So it's funny, right? But here's the thing. If we don't share our research properly, if we don't reach the right people in the right way, then that is what we are doing also. And it can't bring any changes. Because changes only happens when research is shared, understood and applied properly. No matter how brilliant the work is, if it doesn't reach people, it doesn't reach the purpose. So, what's the takeaway, right? To create real world impact, what should be our motto? It's simple. Our motto should be share, engage, make the change, and be the change. So, thank you so much for staying with me till now. If this video sparked a thought, inspired a question, or made you reflect, then it's already done its job. But hey research lovers, let's not stop here. If you like what you saw, then give it a thumbs up. And if you got any thought, any questions or any suggestions, drop it in the comment below. I would love to answer them. And finally, if you are ready to make the change and be the change, so start it now by sharing this informative video with the research mind around you. And also subscribe my channel to stay with me and hit the bell icon to get new updates.